How you feeling today?
I'm great.
Good. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's council meeting. If you haven't already, please silence your cell phones. City of Anamosa City Council Agenda Regular Session Monday, August 25th, 2025, 6 p.m. Anamosa Library and Learning Center. 1.0 roll call.
Crump.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Dugan. Here. Weimer.
Here.
Dan Smith.
Here.
Stomber.
Here.
All 6 council members are present in chamber. 2.0 Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Three point zero consent agenda review and approve. There are 5 items listed. I will read all 5, at which time council can make a motion that includes consent, which will bring all 5 up for discussion in a single vote. Or council can make a motion on any of the 5 items. Item A, minutes from August 11th, 2025 regular session. Item B, minutes from August 13th, 2025 special session. Item C, current bills. Item D, liquor licenses. Item E, noise street closure permit application.
Move to approve consent.
Second.
Motion by Kay, second by Rich. Council, all 5 items are open for discussion. Does the public have any comment on any of the 5? Haley, would you conduct a roll vote, please?
Smith.
Yes.
Dugan. Yes. Weimer.
Yes.
Dan Smith.
Yes.
Stomber.
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Motion to approve, consent carried. 4.0 public hearings. 4.1 public hearing, proposed vacation, sale, and conveyance of city-owned right-of-way, former alley between 202, 204 South Division Street and 610 East Second Street, pursuant to section 364.7 of the Iowa Code. Item A, Mayor opens public hearing, proceedings for discussion. Public hearing is now open. Public, feel free to come to the podium and discuss any questions you may have. Item B, Mayor closes the public hearing. At this time, the public hearing is closed. 4.2, Resolution 2025-53, approval of vacation, sale, and conveyance of city-owned right-of-way, former alley between 202, 204 South Division Street and 610 East Second Street, pursuant to section 3647 of the Iowa Code.
Move to approve resolution 2025-53.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Kay. Council discussion. This time, is there any public comment? Haley, please conduct a roll vote.
Dugan. Yes. Weimer.
Yes.
Dan Smith.
Yes.
Stomber.
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-53 carries. 5.0 postponed items, unfinished business. 5.1 discussion and possible action. Proposed annexation of parcel 2008-53 in northeast-northwest, excluding parcel 2004-66.
So I just threw the application. I think we've seen this before when we first started talking about this, as well as just a snippet from the Beacon site. Did hear back now. They're estimating, our suggestion to possibly run it directly into the lift station was not going to work. So the contractor developer is believing that it will cost roughly $5,000 to run that piping around like we had originally talked. they also just identified it may be difficult to pinpoint that exactly due to depths or hitting the proper level. So that is an estimate. We're ready though, if everybody is in agreement with at least proceeding, we're ready to start running this through planning and zoning. As well as get the required information over to the city attorney so we can start drafting some required communication that has to go to the county as well as some other entities. So I guess before we do that, I just wanted to get the council's approval to keep moving on this. If that estimate of $5,000 seems permissible. Otherwise, is there any other questions for me?
So the 5,000 is not anything we're deciding on tonight.
No, although we do need to, again, this is part of the greater deal of whether or not they, what exactly is going to go into that purchase or that, annexation agreement. So we will have to know at least some indication that we are willing to do that or not willing to do that. And again, it's kind of, they weren't certain on the 5,000. They just know, can't remember how many feet we had talked last time, 130 feet or something along those lines to go all the way around.
I believe it was approximately 85 feet is what we kind of rough walked off and measured.
85 feet, maybe what the city's portion would be.
If you want to look at it that way.
Well,
I want to remind everybody, it does say in our ordinance that we only have to get within 200 foot of the property.
well, and if I remember right, when we were discussing the last time, the additional to go around and come back in on the west side, the additional, I think you estimated at about 30 feet
No, it's
or that 85
the
feet.
85 feet. If you go look at the lift station and on the east side where the fence runs north and south, we went from that point there. Like if they would have, like when we
Okay.
talked about going into to the lift station. So it's approximately that area. And then it's just going down and around
To the west.
to the north, or to going on the north side of the lift station, around the west side, and then back to the south. That's approximately 85 feet.
Okay.
We stayed off because the lift station kind of sits up, the ground's pretty low on the north side, so we stayed off the slope to get it down and around when we measured that 85 feet.
Okay.
So it looks like it's mainly time and materials, right, Steve?
I have not seen the quote, so I do not know.
And again, this is what was agreed upon prior.
So the agreement specified the T connection, and where we're just running into some extenuating circumstances is T connection alone. If we just simply go with that, that doesn't account for the additional pipe that may be required to go around and over to that their structure. Again, though, that very much so depends on what the city is willing to do as part of that. Are we going a quarter of the way? Are we going halfway? Are we going all the way to? So this 5,000 rough estimate is what they're saying would be from how we would, the length from tying into it all the way to their property is the estimate. So this is, I guess it should be looked at as a up to or not to exceed possibly a 5,000.
But it's the whole amount, not half of the cities and half of Jenkins, right?
Right. Okay.
Steve, what would you be comfortable if you did the T connection? And how many feet of pipe behind it? As a city?
My opinion, because the way agreement that was been presented to council and everyone. My opinion is we waive the fees and that's it. Because like I said, it does say in the ordinances that if somebody builds a house and are going to connect, we have to be within 200, we have to bring the city sewer within 200 foot of their property line. Well, we're already on their property line. They're coming out approximately 70 feet out of their house. And then it'd be another 80 feet. So they're only going to have a 150-foot sewer line. So to me, with the ordinance, it says we're within the 200 foot. So my opinion would be we waive the fees. If you want to pay for them to dig it up and put the T in, that's fine. If you want to pay for the whole thing, it's whatever. But my opinion is we waive the fees. There's the sewer line. You connect to it.
I think $5,000 is reasonable. It's the amount of feet that I'm kind of questioning a little bit. To be a good neighbor, I would think that, in my own opinion, is I'd say the first 100 feet would be the cities, and then after that is the owners out of the lift station.
Just the cost to install.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to maintain everything.
Yeah.
Correct.
I really think, the variable in this or the bogey in it is having an understanding of what that early on agreement was prior to any of us sitting here. I don't know if we'll truly understand what that agreement was. So at some point, the city has to do the right thing and be neighborly. And I believe it would be a shared portion. I'm not saying 50-50, but a portion of that. And then the entire line, as Steve indicates, becomes the homeowner's responsibility, becomes their private line.
Ultimately, by annexing that property into the city, then we will start to recoup tax revenue off of it once the house is filed. So I think that I don't disagree with Dan. I think that there should be some kind of gesture of neighborliness.
Well, I would agree. I'm not sure that we should foot the whole bill, though.
Correct.
I think we ought to do a portion of it. But Steve, I think you'd also mentioned that lift station at some point in time will have to be replaced.
Yes, it will. If that development transpires to the northwest, then yes, it'll have to be replaced.
And will that disturb any of that surrounding area more than what's already there?
When I talked to the contractor, I wanted him to put it far enough away from the lift station so that way it would not interfere with their sewer. It would basically just be dig the lift station up and then rebuild it.
Just so we're not 5 years, 10 years, whenever this may occur, running into another problem.
Mhm.
Steve, have you thought about leaving that lift station just the way it is and building a bigger lift station and pumping across 151 to that big trunk line behind the elementary school and bring it right to Second Street? I thought about that years ago.
That could be a possibility too, yeah. It just depends. You'd have to look at the dollars and the cents both ways.
Because you wouldn't want to pump all that sewer all the way down to Rosemary Lift Station, then to Second Street, if you could go across the highway and gravity probably pick up some of it and bring it this way.
Yeah.
Because I do look for that to happen someday.
Do you want a motion?
To proceed in some manner, yes.
Well, I move that we proceed up to the tune of $5,000 for the city's part.
Second.
Motion by Kay, second by Todd. Further council discussion?
Yeah, I would like clarification on up to the tune of $5,000. I would like to know what that means.
Well, it could be any place between $1 and 5,000.
But is that all the way to the house? Is that they're a 50-50 split? What,
Oh, I see what you're asking me. I'd say we spend up to $5,000, and if it takes more than that, then they pay.
I do know that when the homeowner was here at the last meeting, we discussed this. He was good with, his portion.
Yeah.
Which I think, don't quote me if it was half of the line, but that seems to be something that was thrown out there.
right?
I understand where Rich is angling this. And
Well, didn't you say that 85 feet would be part of it and then 75? Will 5,000 cover 85 feet? I have no idea.
Like I said, I have not seen the quote, so I don't know what they have for footage on the quote.
just reading from this memo, a connection of roughly 150 feet of pipe will be required to tie into this lift station. Mr. Humpo is estimating the cost to be 5,000. I guess as I would read this, 5,000 would be the 150 feet, which it sounds like would take it from residence
That's
all the way to tie back in and around to the main.
what I would assume. That's the way you read that, Rod. That's what it sounds like.
That's back then to the question of we paying for the whole or we paying for a partial. I think it's what
Yes.
Rich is getting.
Well, I assumed 85 feet would cost $5,000. I don't know if,
About 50%.
yeah,
You want to reword that in your motion?
oh my goodness, yes. I move that the city pay up to $5,000 for about 85 feet, 5 or 10 feet more or less. You want exact?
Well, no, I have an understanding of what you're saying.
Well, because I don't know what 85 feet would cost. I don't have any idea.
I don't know, because the way you read that, I got it that $5,000 was covering 150 feet.
Yeah, that's all technically all changed, putting a $5,000 cap,
Cap,
not to exceed 50%.
okay.
Yeah,
Now that's, again, I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth here, but
no, that's about what I'm trying to say. That's about it.
You're wanting to pay for no more than 85 feet of the 150.
Correct.
So
Well, so okay,
Okay, thank you.
but if 5,000 is what they're projecting the total cost, then I think we need to be careful about how we word what we're going to spend. I think what we need to say is we are willing to pay for 85 feet of the total footage of the line.
And the T connection.
Not to exceed 5,000, but
but I would probably say not to exceed 3,000.
Correct. You
Okay.
don't, because 5,000, if they say 85 feet costs 5,000 and the other 70 feet is free gratis, then we obligated ourselves to hold. So I would say 85 feet up to 3,000, 85 feet and cap our responsibility at $3,000. So
And waive the fees for the T Connect.
let's
so maybe we
try to do this the right way. Okay.
right. We need to reword.
First, Kate, I think at this point you need to rescind your motion.
all right, I'll resend it.
Ty,
And I'll
she's
rescind my second.
All right, now let's put a new motion out in front. And we'll try to hit the mark the first time.
Okay.
So you want to make the motion, you want to allow someone else to,
No, I want to keep. You're making some laugh around here, you know, sometimes it's just too serious.
I'm not laughing.
Well, never mind. So I move that the city do 75 feet and spend not more than $3,000.
Including the T connection.
And
Oh, including the
waiving the
T
T-
connection
the
and
T
waiving,
connection,
and waiving what?
Waiving the fees for the T connection.
Oh, waiving the fees. What?
There's a connection fee at City Hall.
Oh, thank you.
I will second that.
We have a motion by Kay and second by Todd.
Thank you for
Council,
taking.
any further discussion? Any public comment? Haley?
Weimer,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Gumbert,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes,
Hickman,
Yes.
yes,
You lost me, Kaylee. Did we get all six there?
I did.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve carries. Thanks, everybody, for bearing through that one. 5.2, discussion of possible action, damaged property at 110 East Main Street, Tom Durgan.
Tom Durgan, downtown property owner. I cut this from 14 to 10 pages. Just to, first of all, this is absolutely the last thing I want to be up here talking about. But I'm going to back up a little bit here. Back to 4/4/22, I had city cones in front of my building. And we were working on front facade of my building, and we were removing and replacing approximately 300-pound stone capstones. I had safety tape up, I had cones up, and we stopped to take a break and have a drink. And Karen walks out of her building, out of the front door, puts the cones underneath my lift, goes in the front door, comes out her side door, and takes down all of our red caution tape, keeping in mind what we were doing above everybody's head. We had the sidewalk completely closed. I stopped over, Jeremiah was interim. I stopped over and talked to him. They sent a police officer over, and at that time, the code enforcement guy told him what was going on. They went in and talked to her, and another individual was in the building. And they came out like I was the villain. And he was going to check and see what there was for regulations and codes and all that for having equipment on Main Street, which I blew it off because I'm sitting there thinking you're barking up the wrong tree. Not only did they treat me like that, but then I had a bunch of people telling me that, pardon my language, I was damned all over Facebook for being rude, for working on my building with my money. So fast forward to now. I'm gonna kind of read this so I'm not all over the place. I warned everybody about damage to my property. Once again, my personal money going into my buildings, not the taxpayers. I talked to everyone, as in all the contractors, when they came in, let them know when they started the job, and made it very clear about the situation. I was even told that Derek told them. I was also told that him and someone else said I'm an A to work with. Alleged. I'm on the street all the time, and Derek could have talked to me about this at any time. He won't even hardly acknowledge me. I guess he must have a problem with me. I guess that is his problem, not mine. Every time someone started new on this phase 2 project, I talked to them immediately. My building got damaged, and I told Peak. I told Jeremiah immediately. Jeremiah wanted to talk to Derek, and I asked to wait because I was dealing with Peak about it. I was talking with Peak on another, I think it was the next day. And they made it clear, and so did everybody else, that Derek was already filled in on the damage to my building. I believe it's his job to follow up and take care of this because he was aware of it. And it is his job. Of the alleged comments was that I'm an A to work with. Once again, I'm down on Main Street all the time. I got broad shoulders. I won't say anything behind your back. I won't say it to your face. I had a very good rapport with everybody working on that project. And at one point in preparation for phase two, I even took my lift downtown and took the state lady up to look at the roofs and buildings. And we all know how I feel about this project, but I'm there to help and I don't mind at all. Is that really being an A? That was the one time Derek reached out to me and asked about my lift. Once again, is that being my word? I'm on the street all the time and there's very little that doesn't get back. Derek could have asked me about this many, many times, but never did. Yes, I could have asked him about it, but I thought it was being taken care of. However, that is his job. I'm guessing he doesn't care for me for some reason. And he was concerned about another building, which I find was rather obvious. Stopped a while back and asked Jeremiah about my building. He told me everybody had signed off on the project. And that was the first I was aware of that job was actually over. To make matters worse, and here again, Derek knew about it. To make matters worse, they had Pete back at the bowling alley for some warranty work, and Derek still didn't say anything to me, and he was down there that day. Yes, once again, I could have, but why should I? He knows about it. And they even signed off on a building with incorrect stone and visibly crooked windowsill. I even put a level on it. But they were okay with that. In the 8 to 10 months or however long this project took, I never complained once about the front of my building being blocked off. Not once. I worked with everybody down there. I worked with all the guys. If they had anything, it's like, I'm here if you need something. And they knew it, and you can ask every one of them. I did get a hold of Peak, and they were very apologetic for lifting or letting me fall through the cracks. They got right on it and got back to me. The materials were going to cost them $1,600, but I told them to let me check, and I got them for $500. I told them to pay for the materials, and I'll do the repairs on my building at no charge to anyone. In phase 3, I think there needs to be more oversight, communication with building owners. They might not be as nice and easy to work with as what I think. I was very nice and very easy to work with on that project. Whether you have a problem with the owner or not, do your job. If you have a problem with me, you can always find me somewhere downtown because everybody knows I'm around. I won't say anything about a person that I won't say to their face. I've already said that. Peak took care of the matter and I appreciate it. The masonry company even came down for a whole day and cleaned my windows because there was some kind of a clean or something they used on the building surrounding me. Cleaned my windows because there was, and they spent a whole day here. They were all easy to work with. I had no issues with any of them. Not holding the city or anyone that works for the city what I'll consider a major letdown and failure. I'm going to take 1% of the blame for not asking Derek about it, even though I feel it was 100% his job to take care of it. I'm putting the other 99% of the blame fully on Derek and economic development for not taking care of this. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. I made it very clear. I was very good to work and easy to work with all these guys. I don't like hearing stuff come back to me, and not only allegedly from Derek and, economic development and a couple other building owners. So that's all I got to say. The problem is taken care of. I appreciate you coming up here and letting me vent because I'm, obviously I wasn't happy about it. I think I made it very clear, and I think I was more than fair to the city because this could have been a lot worse. But we worked through it. It's over. Thank you. Anybody have anything to say? All right, thank you.
5.3, presentation, sanitary sewer survey progress and planned action, Steve Ignition.
Steve Agnes, Utility Superintendent. Just a little response here. As you've seen in the packet, I provided you guys 10 years of sanitary surveys. So you can review, see the things. I put a little summary together. I put on the table. If you just go to the back page. Is that deals with the 2025 sanitary survey. The council was concerned because there was 21 check boxes on the report. Under the things to do, that's the summary of the things to do out of those 21 check boxes. Obviously, they said work on jetting a little bit, repair tower lift station, replace the press in the future, replace the transfer switch, which I'm working on getting quotes, operators to get collections licenses, and then, the collection system not being maintained, that also goes with the jetting. So that's the summary of the 21 check boxes that were so-called deficiencies.
Well, Steve, I want to bring this up because I went back and I looked at all the reports. What it really says is where deficiencies noted or significant observations made during this inspection, yes, no. So those check boxes weren't all deficiencies.
No,
it
they
was
weren't.
just major observations.
Yes, things that had been fixed from the last time, stuff like that.
Looked at.
Yes. So I wanted to bring back a quick summary of the things that really, to take away out of that section. The section that I look at, the section that I really worry about is the last section where it says requirements. And I put those also on the bottom. That was the requirements that DNR would put at the bottom of the sanitary survey. Comply with effluent limits, comply with influent limits, cease bypassing, and review staffing. That was the 4 things that they put in the requirements. That is where I focus my stuff, my meat and potatoes, to try to fix the best I can. But sometimes weird things happen. So, but like I said, I just wanted to, so that way you guys could look back over the last 10 years. There's a DNR website. You can pull all the reports off and you can look at everything that's ever been done. And that's where I pulled all this information. So.
Steve, remind me, when did you start?
May of 21, right? No. Yes, May of 21. Right around the 1st of May.
So that 21 report, you really didn't have much to do with
I didn't have anything to do with that one.
once it came in. Okay.
Other than just, fix what I needed to fix.
Steve, how much time you spend in a week on the lab? How many hours? Because the reason I'm saying that is we couldn't find enough time because the lab was taking a lot of time. And we made a decision to eliminate the lab and pay another lab to take care of it so we could be out in the system doing other things. You recall that, Rich?
I do, but I mean, we're not a certified lab anymore, correct?
Yes, we are.
We're back to it.
We're
because
back
one
to
of the
certified
reports
lab.
said we weren't.
I had to give it up. I did not have enough time. And I put $1 to it and I couldn't make it pencil out. So I called Amber Sauser and said, Amber, we cannot do this and maintain the jetting and everything else. So I guess what I'm saying is I would like to see a breakdown of what's costing us a month for time. And what would it cost just to have somebody take the lab over? That was the only way I could make it work.
And speaking of jetting, who sets the 20% per year?
It's just kind of it's not real, it's just, it was a goal, but they asked me, what's your goal for to jet in the year? And I said, I'd like to do 20%. We fell a little short last year,
And
the last 2 years.
one thing too, Steve, just so you know, the hot spots are quarterly jetting. Not once a year, quarterly.
And to your comment before there, Dan, when I started here, when Beth was in charge, sat down, had a conversation with Beth. I felt she told me that I could have a total of 4 of us at the wastewater plant. We could get the lab back going. And so that's what I did. Got the 4 people at the wastewater plant. Worked at it, got the lab back up and running. Doing our stuff. At that time. What's that?
Is it taking a lot of your time?
It takes, I've shortened up I've updated a lot of the testing. So it doesn't take nowhere near as long. There's 2 days that take about 2 hours each day. We've also purchased some new equipment because we were trying to get the last set of certifications. So then the only thing that we have to do was send out our fats, oils, and grease that's once a month.
And you're doing less testing at the prison, right?
Yes, the only thing we're doing there is BOD and TSS.
We were doing that at the time too.
Um,
And we were doing sludge hauling.
I'm gonna guess that we spend one person approximately 6 to 7 hours a week doing the lab. Just
Got to guess what it would cost us to have that done. BODs. What else? CBODs.
you'd be sending your BODs, your CBODs, TSSs, what we were just through our DMRQA to bring the phosphorus and the nitrogen, the TKN, all that stuff in-house. We just sent all that away. Council let me buy a $6,000 piece of equipment to run those tests.
I think
It's just going to sit on the shelf. Then
I think we just need to look at the overall cost and do some time management, maybe looking into some things. Just a suggestion.
What I didn't get to say was that since when I do believe when I first started and I got my 4 people at the wastewater plant, there was 4 at the wastewater plant, 3 at the water plant. Then we obviously combined. Came the utilities department. We managed the 7. But then when I lost an employee due to retirement, I was told I couldn't replace him. So then that shortened us up a person. So the load falls then on 6. We're pulling, I feel we stay really busy. We're doing things at the wastewater plant. We're doing things at the water plant that need to be done. That is the only part that we're not getting quite as much done as I'd like. But again, we're down 1 person. Then, we all know Robert got deployed. We tried to fill that position. Lasted 5 days, and we've had, I believe, still 0 applicants to fill that position because nobody wants to come work even though it's full-time, it's a temporary position. So now we're down 2 from the original 7 after we got back to full staff. So I can put the numbers together with the approximate cost, but I did that before to bring that stuff back in-house. And
I guess what I was saying is there any way we can track your guys' time between water and wastewater for a month? And just see where our time's being spent.
you can do that.
Thank you.
Will tracking it be an easy thing to do?
It's basically gonna make the guys, I'm gonna have to put a spreadsheet together and have them keep track of their day, every day. If they, how much they spend at the water, on the water side or the wastewater side, because they go in both directions during the day.
So I guess I'm not seeing the benefit of that.
Steve, you said you, at some point you were approved to get a $6,000 piece of equipment. How long ago did that piece of equipment be bought?
We bought that piece of equipment. It was either December, January, February,
Oh, 24.
24, 25. It was either like this, it was at the very end of last year, or it was the beginning of this year.
So we know that we've got $6,000 into recertify, correct? Just for that piece of equipment.
Yes.
How long, and I'm probably using the wrong terms, but in my small brain, how long will it decertified before we became recertified? How many years? Approximately.
It was in 22 when we got the lab certification back. So we've been at it for, the lab has been certified again for 3 years.
But there was a cost associated with, in addition to the $6,000 for a piece of equipment in the last year,
Yes,
there was a cost associated with coming back into certification in 22, correct?
yes, there was, because there was some pieces that needed to be updated.
So any consideration of sending out our testing would have to also consider what we've spent to get back into certification, if we know for sure costs at least 6,000.
Yeah, and that was just to do the last part of it.
Right. But know that minimally we've spent $6,000 to get back into current certification.
And would that piece of equipment have any resale value? If we went and decertified, what do we do with that equipment?
That's a really good question. You can put it out there. There's a couple of different places that you might be able to sell it.
Buy that new, or did we buy it used?
Yeah.
So is that like a car, I had to buy it, and then I grab it off the lot, and I just lost half the value of it?
There's not much of a market out there for lab equipment that I've ever seen. I know Iowa Rural Water has a page where you can list stuff. That's one of the things that you really never see ever listed as lab equipment.
So
It's always other stuff.
just out of curiosity, what's the life expectancy of this equipment that you have?
The new piece, it had, and I'm just trying to pull it off the cuff. It either had a 3 or 5 year warranty. It's made by Hawk. It's good stuff. It's probably has a life expectancy of 5 to 10 years. I'm going to assume. The meter that we replaced for the BODs and the CVODs, one of the couple of the tests we run, that one was cheaper. That was like $2,500, and 5 to 7 years, I think, is the life expectancy. But with Hawk has a service center in Ames, I believe it is, that you can send it. They'll send you a loaner. You can send it to repair it. It's under warranty, which we did have to have that happen once. It's pretty long. It's good stuff. It's good equipment.
Any idea what it costs to send it away to have it analyzed?
That one, it only cost us like $30 or $40 to ship it to them, and then they paid the shipping back
But
because
then
it was under
for the
warranty.
labor to have it done, what did that cost?
It didn't cost us, that piece didn't cost us anything because it was under warranty.
I think.
No,
she's
no,
asking
that's
about
not what I'm
to
asking.
allow-
If you,
When you send stuff to the lab?
Oh, when you send stuff to the lab,
yeah,
Right now, with the tests that they're running, their bill is approximately, the lab's bill is about $1,200 a month. The shipping cost, just a second, I think I just paid. It's the testing. The shipping was $300 or $400, I think, just for the month of July.
But that stuff you're not testing, or are they retesting, or what?
So the stuff that we're sending right now is the stuff that we're working on getting certified. The plan was to get the shipping down to one bottle a month. So it'll be one package going, because we can't, to test the fats, oil, and grease is not economically feasible for us to do.
Okay, right now, we've got 18,000 a year in testing and shipping for what we can't currently test.
Correct.
If we were to send the stuff that we currently can test for, is that included in the $1,200 a month bill, or do they add?
No, it'll go up. It might be $2,000. I don't know for sure what they charge for those tests.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe what we ought to do is just get a price quote on doing the additional testing, so we can see kind of what a cost benefit would be here.
Okay. I'll try to put those numbers together.
Okay.
This was very helpful. Thank you for doing it.
No problem.
Any other discussion on the survey and the planned actions?
Steve.
Thank you. 6.0 council action item 6.1, resolution 2025-54 to set the wage of part-time LCC personnel for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026.
Is that information in our packet and I'm just not seeing it?
I didn't see it.
I'm just looking for it myself.
I
Well,
seem to find it.
Thank y'all for making me feel like.
Nothing significant to know, however.
Yes, exactly. Probably come up with that, but not tonight. Kale, do you have the information for that? The employee and rate?
Got paid.
I do. It'll be Holly Casey, part-time LCC personnel, and it'll be $10.95 an hour.
Yeah, what will that do for your staffing? Are you?
It
in
will,
good shape?
it will put us up to, I believe, all of our part-time staffs. We will just be missing a janitor at the LCC.
You're comfortable with that, working your current budget?
Absolutely. It's the same amount of time allotted regardless of how many people we have on staff.
Now, 10.95 an hour part-time wage for
Holly Casey.
Holly Casey.
I'll second.
Motion by Todd, second by Dan. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Bamber,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tukin. Yes. Weimer,
Yes.
Motion to approve hiring and wage carries. 6.2, resolution 2025-55. Resolution setting the date for public hearings on proposals to enter into general obligation loan agreements and to borrow money thereunder.
So this one is in there, but it was provided by Dorsey and Whitney. The get to here. Page 2 of they sent several documents that go along with it, but is page 2, which simply sets the dates for
Is it September 22?
September 22nd, 2025.
I'll make a motion to set a public hearing September 22nd, 2025 at the Anamosa Library and Learning Center at 6:00.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Todd. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Bamber,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tukin. Yes. Weimer,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Motion to set public hearing carried. 6.3, review and approve engagement letter from Dorsey and Whitney for 2025 GO bond issue.
This just accompanies the previous, that letter is also included in there. John Danos, Dorsey and Whitney explaining their obligations in the matter and agreement to perform those services.
Would you like a motion to approve their engagement letter?
Yes, only because this one requires the mayor's signature.
I'll move to approve the engagement letter.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Kay. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Smith,
Yes.
Tukin. Yes. Weimer,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bamber,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Motion to approve engagement letter carries. 6.4, review and approve fiscal year 26 street improvement projects not to exceed $206,822.40. Shane Brown.
Shane Brown, Street Superintendent. So I went out for 3 bids. And one bidder didn't call me back the 3 times I called. Then I went out for Kleesner's and River City Paving. And they were pretty close, except for River City didn't want to tackle like a curb, or they didn't want to. It was just kind of a struggle this year. So I'm recommending we use Kleesner. They're our go-to people anyway when we have an emergency. And I feel like we're going to get a better product.
So Shane, if I read the information correctly, Kleesner came in about $2,000, about $2,300 higher than RCP, but RCP didn't bid on 3 projects that would have totaled under Kleesner's bid of about $8,000, $9,000. Is that correct?
It would have been over.
Right.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure, because we would be approving a bid that is higher than the low bid. However, the low bid doesn't include projects that the high bid that we're considering did include. So in essence, we are approving a lower bid because the other company didn't bid every project.
Right.
I just want the public to be aware.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve Kleesner.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Todd. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Thank you.
Tukin. Yes. Weimer,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bamber,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Motion to approve street improvement projects carries. 6.5, review and approve outstanding obligation debt report to state treasurer's office.
The response from the state treasurer's office is included in your packet. This has got my contact information on it, but Kaylee took care of this. So you can blame her. No, she did complete this report, and that's, I think, the first official report of her clerk duties. And we reviewed it, and yeah, so this is the response back, and I think in the past, the practice has been just to include those reports submitted to the state and or other agencies on council for approval. Is there any questions about that report?
So you concur with her report?
I do, yes.
Okay.
And you're comfortable that we're at less than the debt limit that is recommended?
I am, yes.
Well, so do you want an approval of this?
If I could, please.
I will move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Dan. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Weimer,
Yes.
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Swampert,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Baseman,
Yes.
Tukin. Yes.
Motion to approve obligation debt report carries. 6.6, review and approve consent agenda pay request totaling $269,070. There are 5 items listed. I'll read all 5. Council can make a motion that includes consent, which will bring all 5 up for discussion in one single vote. Or council can make a motion on any of the 5 items. Item A, change order from WRH Inc. in the amount of $9,562.30 for the wastewater treatment plant flow EQ project. Item B, from EC Cog in the amount of $750 for the downtown facade revitalization project. Item C, from Martin Garner in the amount of $3,000 for the downtown facade revitalization project. Item D, from Snyder and Associates in the amount of $18,561.70 for the wastewater treatment plant flow EQ project. Item E, from WRH in the amount of $237,196 for the wastewater treatment plant flow EQ project.
Move to approve consent.
Second.
Motion by Kay, second by Rich. Council discussion on any of the items?
Good. So we are replacing the grading, is that correct?
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. The original change order for this, I believe, was 19,717. That was pretty much for a total replacement. They came back and determined that it was just the 9,000 and fewer grates. The rest of them, they attempted to do what the council had requested and kind of work them in. So I believe this is what they believe they cannot or don't feel comfortable replacing, and they want to go ahead and they don't feel comfortable repairing. They want to go ahead and try to replace these.
Yes, these are the ones that we agreed on that have to be replaced.
Are we keeping the grading or are we just losing that?
We can keep it, but it's twisted and warped and damaged, so that's why we're replacing it. So I can't safely put it in another location in the condition that it's in.
Is that something that could be used for
Smaller
another
section.
project? Not, I don't mean the projects that were to this, but could it be laid across the ground?
Yeah,
So there would be a benefit to
Yeah.
possibly keeping it.
yes,
If nothing else, we would scrap it out at scrap costs.
Yeah.
I mean, the
yes, we can do
reason I
that.
raise it is because I don't think the contractor should be taking it with them to dispose for us.
Yeah, we can do that.
That was your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it's 9. See how expensive it is.
Yep.
Why give it to somebody else?
I agree. And the inquiry about this at the time of the change order basically constitutes a $10,000 savings.
Mhm. Yep.
Anything else from council on the motion? Public comment? Okay,
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Swampert,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Paceman.
Yes.
Tukin. Yeah. Weimer.
Yes.
motion to approve consent carries. 7.0 city administrators report.
I only have one item to note, the X31 project for that Jones County's doing and helping us with the North Ford Street is underway. We had a meeting last week that Shane had attended. They had requested no parking along North Ford Street from the senior center north. It's a bit short notice, so I think we're going to try to send something out to the residents along there as a request to try to limit that. At this time, if we need to do something different in the future, we can look at that. But it's going to be a lengthy period of time, possibly through November. So I think we need more notice to the public than a week if we're gonna do something like that. So we're just gonna send out a letter, I guess, requesting, making the residents aware of that requesting. If they could limit that at all, that would be appreciated.
Well, I'm gonna ask a question about that then, because I'm assuming if that project is going on, there's going to be more traffic, maybe out Holt Street or Old Cass.
I think that's what they're trying to avoid, is coming, that's an alternative. So they were hoping to come around, Stone City down through, Main Street and up north on Ford. Which is the reason why I guess it's, gets kind of tight up in there with a large truck and large loads. That was their plan to do that.
Well, I'm not talking about their traffic. I'm talking about just normal
Oh,
traffic, everyday traffic.
Sure.
Because if there's large trucks that are gonna try to go out, we may want to look at some no parking or something going up Huber and so forth to minimize some of that, allow for that traffic going out of town that way.
It's not gonna interfere at all with any of the stuff that's going on. Cedar, whatever's between Lutheran Church and Huber. No, okay. Thanks. I see they're doing some work behind the 100 block of Main Street, that alley. How is that progressing and what's the projected time?
That's our Ford and Huber Alley Sewer project, and I believe they're on track with that, looking good.
Yeah, they were saying that they're filling back in that portion of it right now, so that should be open. Somebody told me later this week.
Good. Good that we're getting it done. I just didn't know how.
To circle back around to the Ford Street request on the park. Ford Street's rather long, continuous street with numerous residents on both sides of that. Some of those, again, have little access to off-street parking. I understand the contractor's request to reduce the parking and limit it to possible sections that they were working on at the time. But I don't think it would be a very good idea to eliminate parking across the entire stretch of Ford Street during this project.
Yeah, so again, the letter that we plan to send out is going to be a request asking for, explaining first of all, the project that's going on, making them aware of it, and then requesting minimal parking, or at least advising them that these trucks will be up and down that street. The original request was for no parking. Shane and I spoke about it during that, and we were not thrilled about the timing of that. We felt that the citizens needed more heads up than a week. So we opted not to go that route. And I guess, the contractor working on that may have to deal with it.
Well, the other part of this is the people on the east side of Fort Street aren't going to have access once they close that alley
To the alley.
to work on that project, and they're gonna be running almost simultaneous, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be a problem.
So I would certainly. I would not use the word not thrilled. I would use the word not in favor of closing or eliminating part.
Yep.
It's my opinion, like you, the contractor can deal with it. Anything else for Jeremiah? 8.0 Mayor and Council's reports. 8.1 Mayor's report. I have nothing at this time. 8.2 Council reports.
I would like to remind everybody that the Story Walk dedication is tomorrow night, and one of the people that made contributions through their life, both at the council and in the community, was Bob George, and he was one of the people that is honored with the Story Walk, along with Loretta Berkeley, who worked here for years.
Thanks for that, Kate. Anyone else? 9.0 Public comment for items not on the agenda.
John Dirks, 105 East Fifth Street. Comment on the military bridge down there. I have over 1,500 signatures. I'm tired of listening to people want to give me money because I can't take it because we don't know what we're doing. I have 3 people that have pledged money. 2 of them are $1,000 a piece, and one of them's 500. So let me know what we're doing. So there's people want to start a GoFundMe page, but we can't do that until we know what's going on. We need a bid or something on the abutment down there so we can get the money to fix it. No comments?
Well, typically we do not comment under 9.0, John, but obviously, as you are aware, because you are in tune with this, that the project is pretty much still fluid. Council has not wavered from their decision to move forward with a cost share of the $2.8 million this project is estimated in. So I understand, you have people sitting in the shadows looking to fund this and possible other means to. Government moves at a slow pace. There's a reason for it. Not saying I like the fact that that occurs, but there is still a reason for it. So when we begin to finalize, then it will open up those avenues. Might not be the answer you're looking for, but it's the one you're going to get. Anyone else? Ten point zero closed session. 10.1 motion to enter into closed session for Iowa State Code Section 21.5 1C to discuss the strategy with counsel in the matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation. Patrick, as being the city's attorney, do you confirm to enter into closed session under that state code?
Yes, Your Honor, I've reviewed the subject matter of the closed session. It's my opinion that we're lawful to go into closed session under 21.51C.
Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to go into closed session for Iowa State Code Section 21.51C.
I'll second.
Is that your Dan?
Yep.
Motion by Rich, second by Dan.
We're not opening, correct?
Council, you